up, guys? I'm gonna go over some wash reclaim videos. And I want to use on demand here for this ticker BDRX on 4425 because I want to see what happened. Okay, so there's the wash. $10, $20, $30. It's not a very big wash. It's not even a 30-cent wash. But it is fairly large compared to the other candles. So right on the next candle, it crosses over the 50% mark. So I've learned from experience that this is a problem, because now it's either going to go right away or it's not going to go at all, or it's just going to play some serious games. So it crossed over the halfway mark, but the bid didn't hold. It's just all wick. So the wick is at $1.90, which puts the top at $1.89. So that means we would want to put a sell order in at $1.88. So let's put a line in there at $1.88. So that would be the guaranteed. So the bid's holding over halfway. So this to me looks like a nice wash reclaim, except for the fact that it reclaimed half on the first candle here. Means that it might set up for a different kind of pattern. Okay. So $1.88. It looks like $1.88 did cash out there. So let me figure out what's going looks like I had bought some, but my order didn't fill. Oh, it's because I had a sell order at $1.89. Maybe that's why. Let's see what happens. So why didn't it grab my order? Looks like I have a sell order at $1. Yeah, it's at $1.89. $88.
The resumption at ICCT was so high that it's too scared to buy the dip.
We're looking at the same. Let me pause this. This candle has a high of $1.89. Yeah, these candles look slightly different than the than the ones that are in the video. So anyway,
Yes, I remember. Yeah, I don't like this whole action. I don't think we fixed that.
so you can see it looks like I repositioned my order again for $1.88 because
This order's at
I realized that
44, 32.
it it didn't necessarily have to take all the orders at $1.89. It just had to touch that price.
Oh my goodness.
And again, because it reclaimed 50% on the exact next candle, you can see this video is an hour long, so it just took forever for it to reclaim. And matter of fact, it didn't reclaim. That was the reclaim right there. That was where I should have got my sell order, but I was a penny off. So I think while I was trying to get out of that position on BDRX, I took another trade on a different stock because I seen another wash reclaim pattern. Let's see if we can find that one. Looks okay right here. So on ICCT, I seen this big flush, so it looks like I got the window already. Over here, CXAI is also setting up, but it's taking too long. It's taking too long on that one. This one again, on the very next candle. So on this one, on the very next candle, it didn't reclaim the 50% mark. So that's a better setup in my opinion. because there isn't any confusion on is it an actual reclaim or is it just the way that the stock is structured. Okay, so right there, okay, see, even though it didn't hold the bid, I just YOLO'd it. Which would be the right thing to do in some circumstances, considering how much momentum there is. So that probably was the right trade right there because it went right away on the second candle. So that was a nice quick trade there. But I didn't take big size because, you know, I'm stressing out over this other trade, BDRX, that I have, it looks like 250 shares. So like I said, it doesn't reclaim, but it looks like I'm able to get out because it's starting to pull back up here. And it looks like I eventually bail out of the position. So look, it comes up real close. I mean, I've been sitting here all day on this one, so I'm definitely getting stressed out. And I think I eventually just sell it. Right there. So I don't even know if it makes it all the way up or not, but I definitely finally get out of the position. But yeah, so now I set my sell order is a penny lower now because of what happened on this day. And I've had a lot better luck. I haven't had that happen, but maybe once or two other times that we may come across here. But those might have been different situations. So yeah, that one kind of sucked. The ones that reclaim the 50% mark on the next candle, they can turn out to be really tricky. This is one of the first videos I recorded trading wash reclaim pattern. You can see I got a mark where the sell order needs to go for the primary target. And almost all these videos don't have me trying to reach the secondary target because the secondary target is 50-50. And I wanted to test the guarantee trade, which is supposed to be 99.9. So the guarantee trade is from the halfway mark up to where we were talking about, a couple pennies below the top of the body of the candle, not the wick area, like 2 pennies below the body, to guarantee that the market maker has to take all the shares there and not just some of them. So this wash reclaim, it looks like it looks like it kissed the halfway mark, and I just went ahead and bought it, and then it come all the way back down, and now it's creeping back up. So again, not the best entry. I obviously could have waited till now here, or got in here. A lot of these wash reclaim videos, I haven't necessarily traded them the best, but as I continue trading them, I get better at them. Now see, the problem with some of these that have lower liquidity is after the market maker reclaims the 50% mark, he will flush the bottom of this wick. He will crack that because people will put their stops down there, and if the market maker sees enough of them down there, he will go grab them. So if you're in down here and the market maker brings it all the way down here, now you're kind of freaking out. The thing about it is that sometimes the market maker will do it real fast, and you only be freaking out for a few seconds before the price comes back up. But there's other times where he'll take it down there and leave it down there for a minute. So that's why I suggest, if you're going in at the halfway mark, I mean, if you're going in exactly at the halfway mark, then you need to get out if it starts going down. Because if the price does crack here and it's a trap, then it's going to go way down to trap you in there. Because you're going to hesitate for a couple seconds, and that's going to cost you 50 or 100 bucks. So it's best just to get the hell out. See, now look at this. It wicks up, but doesn't grab my order. Now see, again, this is the situation where I'm having my sell order in just 1 penny too high, and this is something that I've learned from trading the pattern. So now I'm kind of freaking out here because I don't know what to do. You know, I don't have no plan from this point. There, I canceled the order. There, I just got out. And I remember being extremely disappointed. I don't know why, but I think I was just so excited about posting that first video. Anyway, the wick looks like it goes all the way up there, but like I said, it grabbed some orders from 423. It just didn't grab mine. But at 422, it took all those. So that's where I should have had the sell order in. Now remember, secondary target is going to be double the wash candle to the upside. So I don't know how long some of these videos go, but once the primary target's reached, it's 50% up or 50% down the direction, and it's up to you to make that determination if it's going to be like 80-20, 20-80. If there's a high probability that it's going to try to reach the secondary target, then you want to save some of the shares. Only sell some here and save some for the secondary target, which is what I've been trying to do. But I haven't had any really super nice ones. I had a couple where I saved like 10 or 20 shares, but I wasn't able to reach the secondary target. It just came up another 10 cents at the most, I think I was able to get. But one of these days I will catch a good one. You gotta be a little quicker on those. So again, this is me YOLOing right on the next candle, which is risky. So this is probably not a trade that I would take nowadays. Like I said, this pattern is kind of risky, but it looks like I took it anyway. You know, depending on the situation and what's going on with other tickers, you might think, okay, you know, this is what everyone's looking at. See, so look at that. I'm instantly down 19 cents. See, so that was not a good trade at all. Nowadays, I wouldn't have bought. I wouldn't have bought there. I probably wouldn't have bought here either. Like, this candle don't even have a wick, so I don't know what I was thinking on this trade. This trade might not even work out. Yeah, this is a super risky trade. I don't know what I was I don't know what I was thinking on this one. Okay, I'm already down almost 30 cents. So if you're gonna YOLO it like this, then you're definitely gonna want to try to get more than the primary target, because like I said, on these ones that reclaim on the very next candle, they either go right away or they don't go. And if this one's getting ready to go, then I would think that it would try to make the 200% mark, but on some of these trades, you need to get better or a risk reward than this. Look, this came all the way down to 3. So when it came up, so right here would have been a better entry for sure, especially on this dip right here. This might have been a more appropriate entry. But considering it didn't hold the halfway mark there, might have been reluctant to take that trade. They obviously don't want you to buy, or else they wanted to flush it all the way down like this. So it hit the primary, but you know, there wasn't much at the end there. I mean, it looks like it's getting ready to go up higher, but it's hard to say. So that was a crappy trade, for sure. These are some of the first videos I posted. See, now this is another unusual pattern here, but apparently I'm considering it a wash reclaim. case, I would not take this trade, so I don't know what's going on here. But this definitely looks not the kind of not this is not an A plus setup for sure. Oh, yeah, that was a super risky trade, man. Look at that. So they just drag you out to the very last minute. They're just like, oh my God, finally, let me take your dang order. And then it's like, bye, Felicia. We're going back home. You know, the market maker acts like he had to do all that work just to go get your order. But that's the beauty of the wash reclaim. There's the magic is the mechanical math behind how it works. So this video is 14 minutes long. Oh, I'm looking at this wash reclaim right here, which again it looks like it reclaims half, and I can already tell that it's not a good wash reclaim. The way that this stock is structured and the way that they're walking it down has caused these wash reclaims to occur. So again, I've learned not to trade these, even though I'm trading this one. This is one of my first videos. I've learned not to trade this one. You can see this video is 14 minutes long, so it must have really, yeah, look at that. I had to freaking average down on it. Looks like it finally is gonna, it's finally gonna reclaim that one. And like I said, the market maker made it extremely difficult for you to get a bearing on what's going on. So this is why I don't trade these anymore. The ones that reclaim right on the 50, because like I said, they either go right away or they play these games. And I've been sitting here for 14 minutes. That's like 10 minutes too long. If I want to take these trades, I want them to be as short as possible. And now look at this. We get a top and tail doji right below my order, and then it just comes right up here and just hangs out for a while. It's like the very last thing the market maker wants to do is have to pay full price for my order, so he just wants me to cancel it and sell it. And he just wants to stress me out as long as possible. And you know, there might be some other people trading the same pattern that have a lot of sell orders there, so he's just having to eat through all of them. But he definitely ate through all of them there. So again, I probably got lucky on that one. But um, that pattern kind of sucks too.
Nervous. Who's nervous? I'm nervous for today. Daily and now options.
I'm not sure what's going on here. It looks like in pre-market, okay, so it looks like in pre-market there was a wash reclaim and I'm stuck in it. Yeah. this wash reclaim right here. So now I'm thinking, because of the wash reclaim here, it hasn't reclaimed, that the price is going to have to return back up here. And look at this top, look at these top and tail dojis right here. As it, if it tried to make there, here's another wash reclaim. So yeah, I must have been so bullish on this because of these patterns that I was willing to hold it into the open. Now, one thing I have seen in the pre-market is that they will set up a wash reclaim pattern, but they will wait to the bell to reclaim it, and it's kind of like the bat signal to traders that are familiar with it, and it's basically saying at the opening bell we're going to go to this level, so go ahead and buy some. Buy some. So apparently I'm thinking that this is exactly what's going on here. So we'll see. I mean, it's obviously going to grab my price, but I'm curious to know what happens after.
I'm going back to T-Bot in a second.
It's been recommended to me from some of the trader videos on YouTube not to hold anything into the open. In fact, the guy from Stocks to Trade says if you buy something in pre-market, you should sell it in pre-market. Don't hold it into the open. But this situation and at least one other situation I can think of, there was it was clear that you were going to be okay to hold the position into the open because of the wash reclaim patterns that were present in the pre-market. So grab my order, and then the market maker had to reload here. And this is probably the end of this trade. So that was really nice. It's too bad I only had 20 shares. So this is interesting. It looks like it's gone up. It went up. See, I sold at 83, and it made it all the way up to 20. So that's 23 almost. That's an extra 40 cents. If you would have saved some of your position, you could have cashed it out a little bit higher here for the secondary target. This pattern did reclaim on the next candle, but from a structural standpoint, it looks really nice, making higher lows. consistently breaching the 50% mark. So this one does look pretty nice. There's not a lot of range though, and the top wick is fairly excessive. So so I'm not going to put it as a A+ setup. And chances of it reaching the secondary target, I mean, from visually, I'm going to say it doesn't look that good, but I could be completely wrong here. Let's see, I'm in at 59. I'm trying to get 71. That's not that bad. What, 11 cents? 12 cents? That's pretty bad. I definitely would like to get a lot more than 12 cents for sure. I mean, that's like the base minimum for even taking a trade. If you buy 100 shares, you're only going to make 10 bucks. So this is a 20-minute long trade. Again, breaching on the next candle like that can cause some problems. And obviously it looks like it took a while to reclaim. Look at that, it's coming all the way down here. Look at that. So yeah, this is not looking good at all. I mean, I obviously got in here at the halfway mark, and now it's starting to come all the way back down to run the stops at the low side of the flush. Let's see if it breaches a level. So it doesn't breach the level, it looks like. So again, when it reclaims on the next candle like that, a lot of times it can set up this crap pattern where it's going to consolidate for a while before making its way back up. So I wouldn't suggest entries until pullback. Looks like there, it finally got it. You see, it just goes right up to where I talked about. I mean, that's it. Everything else is 50-50. So if you could have gotten in down here, that would have been nice. Got a better price. So this went a little bit higher, but not much. Looks like MLGO's back on the menu. This setup looks nice. Look at the range. Look at this. 15 all the way to 16. This is huge range. So I'm in at 15.95 and I got a sell order at 16.72. That's almost $1 a share. And look how beautiful the structure is. One, it breached the 50% mark on the second one, and then all the candles are green and made higher lows. I mean, this is absolutely looking beautiful here. You couldn't ask for a nicer setup here. doesn't flush the stops, you know, that would be great.
Insanely bipolar.
Now the $1 million question on this one is, do you save any for the secondary move, or do you just cash out? Well, considering I'm getting almost $1 a share, I just went ahead and cashed out. But does it go higher? Matter of fact, it did go higher, right into a halt. Oh, it might be a fake halt. So I got it at 1672. It looks like it cracked over 17 there.
$2 off by like a cent.
But on the next candle, we're back down now.
I had see. I was predicting this, and I got it.
So that was probably a good idea, just to go ahead and take the sure bet, and then don't worry about it. Especially for $16 a share. Normally I wouldn't ever trade anything like that if it wasn't for how good the pattern is. So again, more risky because of the reclaim on the next candle, but it is what it is. A lot of these, I feel like, that have this kind of strength right on the next candle that can go right away are just going to go to the secondary target, which from the looks is going to be on this up around 18. If you double that flush candle to the upside, it puts it up around 18. So if you're gonna try to trade these fast and get out fast, if it doesn't hold, then maybe you should try to save some for the secondary target since it's moving so quickly. Because I cashed out at 17.49, but I could have got higher. I could have got out over 60. I could have got out over 1760 if I was quick. We're going to skip over that one. It looks like another long one. Well, let's just do it, get it out of the way. This video is an hour long, so clearly I must have got trapped in another one. So I'm looking at this pattern right here thinking that it's a wash reclaim. It looks like it came. Well, I didn't buy any over here. I bought some over here. Yeah, this is another situation where today I probably would not have taken this trade. Again, this is one of the first videos I've posted regarding the pattern. So I definitely am not trading this one properly. So my thesis on this one apparently is I feel like the price has to return back up here because of this wash reclaim pattern. I'm not too sure how well that's going to hold up, So it looks like I loaded up over here. What are we in pre-market? And it keeps trying to make attempts to reach that level, and it just can't make it. Wow, look at that. I must be really crazy. Bought even more. Okay, so I started trading this at 7 o'clock in the morning. I started buying shares. My God. So from 7, 8, 9, 9:30, all the way to the opening bell, I'm holding it. So I've been holding the position for that long, 2 hours. What a nightmare trade this was. My God. I probably had to go out and have a breakfast beer after this trade. So yeah, after holding this for 2 hours, and now I'm sitting here like, and it's just a penny away from my order. I gotta be just about ready to freak out, especially at the opening bell, man, because you know a big flush can show up at any time. So yeah, that was a 2 hour long trade. That was probably more like a nightmare. So we'll avoid trading those in the future. Like I said, we want the trades to be as short as possible. Okay, so just from briefly glancing at the pattern, I mean, it looks really nice. We got a 10, 20, almost a 40-cent flush, and we got green candles. We got a breach of the 50% mark. We got higher lows coming in, and this is structurally looking really good. Now, the video is 16 minutes long, so I'm not sure what happened here, but it's not holding the halfway mark, so considering the length of the video, that might have been a problem. Let's see, it looks like I bought some at 250. So again, this comes back to where I was having my orders in at a penny too high. Looks like I got a sell order in at 268, and this might turn into another one of them situations where it misses my order. So it's getting real close. So this is after the bell. It looks like I already had the one trade on it, and now it set up another wash reclaim, and it looks like the market maker is dragging it out. maybe he don't have enough shorts in there yet to where he can cash out the sell orders with short covering, or he's definitely, the market maker is definitely waiting for as many people as possible to take a trade.
It's not just about finding the best stock for your operation, right? That's why Granger can bring it for you. Professional grade industrial supplies and fast delivery. Call clickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
It, it's so it's annoying when the market maker, it just takes it right to your order. It's like all the money these guys got, and they're tripping about my little 30 shares. It's like, bro, just take my order, alright? Don't be a douchebag. You see it sitting there. Look, all he has to do is take it over the next candle. You know someone's gonna buy my shares. All those traders that like to buy the first candle to make a new high, there's gonna be someone there willing to buy my shares. But the market makers, they like to drag it out. They feel like they're obligated to drag it out for a certain length of time. In some situations. It depends what the agenda is. Sometimes these market makers want us to take trades and sometimes they don't. And that's where you have to figure out is, does the market maker want me to participate in this stock or does he not? And if he doesn't, then you want to be very careful. So he's probably just waiting for as many shorts as possible to sell. Or waiting for some more longs to get in. You can kind of pay attention to the orders going through over here and see what's going on. There's sell orders going through, there's buy orders going through. People are taking turns. Wow, what was going on there? That was weird. What the hell happened there? Okay, so looks like I was just getting ready to sell it because it didn't look like he was going to grab my order. Oh, right there. Boy, I got lucky because it could have flashed down after that. So that was nice. With all the scalpers going hog wild, the market maker has got to make it dance around for a while. Try to shake some of those scalpers out. Again, I feel like this is a more riskier setup because of the reclaim, on the next candle. But it looks like it's holding. It looks like it came back over the halfway mark again. It looks like there's some warrants here too. So clearly I got some bullish thesis on this here. Again, I probably wouldn't take this trade nowadays, but this was not a A-grade setup, but it still reclaimed. So I see the wash reclaim here after the bell, and that's what I'm trading. So it reclaimed this wash reclaim pattern right here. Again, it's a terrible setup pattern. It puts the wash reclaim in here, but then it flushes all the way down here. So that's not, that wouldn't be considered a high quality pattern. Oh, 4-3. 4-3-25. OSRH. 4-3. So let's take a look at this wash reclaim pattern and see if there are any indicators that would let us know that it was going to sell off like that. $0.10-$0.20. It's not a very good flush. So 10 is, that's all the stronger the flush was. So $1.99. There was $2 on the bid there for a second. Here we go, there's 2 on the bid. 202. People's buying it. trading. That that might have something to do with why it went lower. I mean, it's not even a dang. It's not even a 20-cent flush. The seller on the ass pushing it down. Look at that. They just selling it all the way down. So it did reclaim. Looks like a long time later. So this one's a half hour long here. So I'm looking for a reclaim on this big flush. Commercial? These are lower quality setup because of how long it takes to reclaim. Nowadays I wouldn't be taking this trade. Video's a half hour, 35 minutes long. So this wash reclaim pattern don't look so bad. But you can tell it's super choppy. I think Areb had an ultra low float. It looks like it reclaimed half on the second candle, so that's good. Then on the third candle, it came back up and held the level. So this is looking good through here. It's pulling back all the way to the base of the flush candle. But the setup is there. It's looking good. Now, if this flushes, are you going to be able to get out? No. That's why you only want to trade the A+. You want to make sure that everyone's looking at it. See, so some people are getting out because people are getting out. They're getting shaken out. This is too much stress for them. Why? Because they took too big a size. They took too big a size. Look at that. It cracked it. And look at my crazy ass. Buying more. So this is one of the wash reclaims where after breaching the 50% mark, it flushes the base of the candle. So anyone here that took the setup, they got stopped out. Everyone, except for people like me that bought enough shares to be comfortable with and just had trust in the pattern. And AREB, look at the float. The float is 500,000, 600,000. So there's going to be some volatility. And see, this is the magic of the pattern. It's like the market maker has left something behind up here and has to return back and get it. Whoa, that baby really went, huh? So let's keep that in mind. It not only did it run the stops, it went considerably higher. In fact, it looks like it reached the 200% mark. So this is the first video where the price target has reached the 200% level. So this would have been a great trade if we would have anticipated the flush of support and also anticipated the 200% level. We could have got in at 682 and got out we could have got out over 782. We could have got $1 a share on this trade. Instead of 50 cents, we could have got a whole dollar if we would have anticipated the flush and the 200% mark. And So we have to ask ourselves, what's different about this one than the last 10 ones we watched? And I think it's the float. The float's only 600K. So I'm going to keep that in mind going forward. If I trade another one that has an ultra low float, I'm going to consider holding more for the secondary price target. Okay, so that brings us back to that one we went over in the beginning on BDRX. We're going to call it quits for now. If we do another video, we'll have to start off on BJDX. Well, that was fun, guys. Thanks for watching. One thing I got from doing this was I can see a lot of the trades that I took here in the beginning I wouldn't be taking nowadays, just because some of them were too risky and some of them didn't have enough risk to reward. And most of them I traded okay, but there were some better entries and better exits. So it'll be interesting next time we do this video what else we come across. It should be more interesting. Cheers.